I'm Kathleen Henderson from Roots and Boots, and this is part 2 in our Day in the Life series. Be sure to go back and check out video 1 if you haven't done that already. That was the start of our day and our breakfast, and this second part is kind of the rest of our morning headed towards lunchtime. It includes some of our homeschool lessons and laundry work. You can watch me do some laundry, and I have a question for you as well. So watch until the end and don't miss that question. What you're about to see in this next section is our geography lesson. I thought about speeding up a lot of this footage for you to watch in that, super quick fast forward motion. But I know that a lot of you are interested in seeing how we actually do homeschooling. So if you're not interested in our homeschool lessons, then just fast forward through this next part. You can jump to around minute 8 or 9. I'm not sure exactly because I'm not finished editing this video, but you can fast forward through this geography lesson. If you are interested in seeing how we do homeschool, it might disappoint you because it's super basic. It's nothing fancy, nothing hugely pre-planned. We literally sit down and work with some maps. And then in today's lesson, I had a story that goes along with the region of the world that we were studying. And so we read the story. But if you want to see how we do it, you can watch this next little bit. And again, feel free to fast forward through this next bit if it doesn't interest you. And one word about this next little section, we do spend some time kind of trying to figure out which maps the boys needed to be using. It's been a little while since we did a geography lesson all together, mainly because for this past semester, my oldest son has been taking a class outside our home. It was a Spanish class. But anyway, he was gone for a large chunk of the day twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. And so this is the first Monday in a while that Malachi has been home with us. And so we're kind of getting back into the rhythm of doing some of these together lessons with him. So that's why we're a little out of practice in locating the exact maps that we need. But again, I thought you might enjoy just seeing what a normal day. This is unscripted, unplanned. Nobody is really following any kind of video plan here. We're just bringing you along for what a normal, unremarkable day looks like in our homeschool lessons.
What are we adding?
Where do I get this?
Well, there's room on the couch. There's the part
What
by
am
the
I
counter.
adding?
There's the floor.
What are we adding?
All right.
Okay, so do you have a map
And this
that you keep adding to, not the one that you filled in?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Maybe.
It's this one. So we're like labeling each time. Last time
We added
Estonia, Latvia,
Latvia and Lithuania.
I added
Well,
those.
should I have Spain on here yet?
No, we haven't done those yet. Spain, France,
Yes.
and Portugal. Wait, what?
Yes.
I mean, Italy?
Yes.
Wait.
We drew a whole map of
What are these
Italy.
are like labeled?
No, this isn't.
I have lots of different maps.
The map of
The one that you've been slowly adding to over time.
Yeah, I've
is
been
the one
slowly
that
adding to this. And the first we ever
Okay.
did was Germany, Poland, and Czech. We never did Spain and France.
We did those before, like last year.
This one?
That's
So
why.
does it have all the ones labeled?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what So Spain, France, and
Let's
Portugal.
see. I think
Is
so.
everything
I
labeled?
didn't see all of them.
This one has some already labeled. This one's already
Some
done.
of them are labeled.
Yes,
Oh.
so put a little star in the corner
Can you hand
of
me
this
that
one.
one?
This is the one that you keep adding to.
But this one,
Put a little star in the top corner of that paper.
even though it has some already
All of
marked,
Even though what?
it has some already marked.
Yes, that's the one that we're adding to little by little.
Wait, what do you mean by already marked?
Look, I didn't write in this.
Oh, no, that's not right.
And you can go ahead. I didn't realize that
Oh,
you didn't
yeah.
have
I don't know how
Spain
to,
or France?
Spain.
I don't know how to draw stars.
Italy?
How to draw them.
Okay. So today, well, let's go ahead and add Spain, France, Italy, and also Portugal.
Spain, France, and Italy?
Yes. Can you look at your map that has everything already labeled?
I think I know where Spain and France are.
Good. Then write those in.
France is right here, right?
Yes, that's right.
And Italy is right here.
Now, remember what Italy looks like?
This.
That's Italy,
Kiki
and that's
song.
France. So what do you think is Spain?
It is this.
That's right. Yes, so label those, and then Portugal shares that peninsula with Spain. Portugal is the little country right next to Spain.
Is Spain, France, Italy, and Portugal?
So here is Spain.
Why do you write the whole name?
For Spain, yes, it's not that long.
Oh.
That's fine, just keep going. The new ones that we're adding for today are Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And the little island that belongs to Sweden called Gotland.
Is that the one in the Baltic Sea?
Yes.
What is it called?
Gotland, Gotland.
We haven't added the islands for France or Spain either.
It's called Gotland.
Okay, where is
So
the
that
map
matters.
that has everything? Well, let's see here. So today we're adding what did I say? Norway, Sweden, and Finland? Yes. Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And this little island, Gotland. So Norway. I would start it out here so you can put it all in. Okay, while you're labeling that, I'm gonna read, would you please stop making that noise?
Wait, should we add the islands that Spain and France own?
Not right now. Or you can while you're listening, I guess.
So I'm gonna do mine.
Are you talking about Corsica?
Well, after I add these three and this one, can I do anything else after that?
Norway, Sweden, and Finland. You can just listen. I'm gonna read this story called Children of the North Lights. See how they're dressed?
Is that?
Go there.
I see, yeah.
Get this picture. This is the inside cover. Called Children of the North Lights.
Or children wrestling with the dog?
Wait, what is the red definition?
Okay. Here is a note at the beginning of the book. Ingrid and Edgar Parindiolaire's Children of the North Lights is a colorful celebration of the Sami people of Northern Europe. Okay, here we go. The story, Children of the North Lights. In the land of the Lapps, the bears all snored in their winter sleep, but beautiful north lights played on the sky and brightened the polar night. Wolves and foxes and hares were wide awake. They all gazed up the mountain. While I read the story for our geography lesson, this is what everyone else was doing. Haddon was snuggling with Lucy. Creed was working on a jigsaw puzzle.
So funny, Valentine. Why is he laughing?
There was also some of this action happening with a long loom rope. Haddon and I are about to do his lessons. These are his books. He is now building a pillow fort for Lucy the Yorkie Poo here on the couch. Is Lucy in there?
Yes.
It's now 10:30. We have finished breakfast. We have finished some together lessons, as we call them. Tidied up the kitchen, started the crock pot for dinner, and Haddon and I are doing his lessons while the older boys work independently. Malachi is headed upstairs to work on some of his readings for his lessons. He does a lot of his independent schoolwork here in his bedroom. He likes to sit on his window seat while he reads.
If you're gonna stand here, this is gonna be weird. What am I supposed to do? There's no way I can intake information like this. Oh look, prologue. Willard's Hotel. That's funny.
He is starting a book about Ulysses S. Grant and, of course, the Civil War. I think he's going to love it because he loves history and he loves American history. I wanted to show you this other side of Malachi's room. We worked really hard to design and have these shelves and the desk unit built here. They're custom, and it has worked out so beautifully for him. He is our naturalist. We read a biography of Teddy Roosevelt, who had set up this whole natural museum in his family's home, I think maybe even in their library. And it really reminded us of Malachi because he's always collecting natural artifacts and putting them on display. And he also has, this is one of his own drawings. He does a lot of colored pencil drawing and watercolors. He also has a big collection, not only of books and novels, but of nature guides. And these are Lord of the Rings figures that he whittled. He just has such a variety of things here. He loves Norman Rockwell art. He also loves Eric Sloane, Eric Sloane's artwork and his books and drawings. Creed is doing some of his independent work here in our piano room. He has about 3 lessons that require use of the computer. He also likes to doodle sometimes while he's listening to things. What are you up to?
I'm listening to the briefing.
What is the briefing?
It is a guy named Albert Mohler. It's news of current events from a Christian worldview.
About how long is it?
Roughly around 30 minutes.
Usually kind of like
25 to 30.
25 minutes. And what other lessons have you done this morning?
Like all the ones I've done? I've done 3 readings, a written narration, Spanish, and I have math left to do.
How did you do Spanish? We did our Spanish songs together.
Yeah. I do Duolingo.
Duolingo on the computer. And what do you do for math?
I use teaching textbooks.
Online, right?
Online, yep.
You do a math lesson every day?
Yep.
And this is your written narration from today?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to turn that into me to read?
Yes.
And do you have any other lessons left?
Math.
What were your 3 readings about? I see that one was Abraham Lincoln's World.
One was about Robinson. It was Robinson Crusoe. One was Abraham Lincoln's World. It was about a little bit about Napoleon, about some stuff in Venezuela, and the third one was about Lewis and Clark, their adventures home.
Are you almost finished with that book?
Yes.
That book is called Up Courage Undaunted.
Yep.
Okay. You have heard about the spider which makes a den in the ground. It puts a trapdoor on its den and plants ferns on the door to hide it. The spider becomes a gardener. In this way, and all its plants grow well. There is an ant that also becomes a gardener.
Every day, Haddon reads a short selection to me from a reader series I've used for all 3 boys called Christian Liberty Nature Readers. Haddon and I finished his lessons, and now he is tending the fire. He has taken it upon himself to start a fire and keep it burning all day. We had the globe out because we were reading about China, and we were also reading about Scandinavia and identifying those places on the globe. This globe actually has a place where it lives in our piano room, but more often than not, it's out here in the main area of the house because we're constantly reading or talking about different places and referencing the globe to see where those places are. Haddon is putting his books away. What are you going to do after that, Haddon? Take out the goats. Haddon's lesson books live here on this little library cart near the dining room. Do you need some help?
No.
You don't need help?
Oh, yes, I need help.
We keep some of our together lessons on this shelf. Also, on the top shelf, we keep this little seasonal display. Even though some of the kids are outgrowing it, we still read through most of these books most months, and we display from this beautiful book. If you're a Charlotte Mason family, you may have heard of it. It's called The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. It's a beautiful, beautiful nature journal, basically. And the fronts of all of these books are very faded from the sun because they have been here literally for years. Sometimes during the busy growing season months in the summer, we forget to read through some of them and we have to play catch up later. In fact, often this book will be frozen on a month. We've noticed it happens often in March, and then a couple months later we'll realize that it still says March, and we'll do some catch up because March is when our gardening and farming really explodes. Haddon is getting dressed to go outside and take the goats from the barn. Where are they going today, Haddon?
I think the corral.
To the corral?
Not quite set up in the field yet.
You don't need a coat?
No,
Oh, I think it feels chilly.
it makes me go faster.
Okay.
I'm freezing and then I want to get back inside.
All right, we'll go take those goats out. I'm taking a quick minute to switch a load of laundry here. The older boys are still working independently on their lessons. Haddon is outside. When he comes in, he has some household chores to do, so I'm working on my household chores. I'm almost not tall enough to reach all the way into the dryer. I have to stand on my tiptoes. Somehow our wool dryer balls are always migrating to other places of the house, and I'm always tossing them back in the dryer. Haddon is our main laundry folder. He is responsible for folding his own laundry plus all like household cloth, like towels for the kitchen and bathrooms. I have permitted him to sort other people's clothing, and then we each fold our own laundry. The older boys fold their own laundry. Haddon sorts them into bins. So Creed gets a bin, Malachi gets a bin, and then mine and Greg's stuff goes into one bin. I usually fold most of that, and sometimes if I'm feeling generous or I have a little extra time, I'll fold the older boys' clothing too, and then everyone has to put their own clothes away. I hang dry a lot of things, a lot of my stuff in particular, things that I don't want to go in the dryer. So that's all the stuff that I'm tossing behind me. I'm also not tall enough to reach this bar here that I use for hanging laundry to dry. So we have this step stool here. Haddon uses it uses it to reach the dryer, and I use it, and Haddon uses it to reach this bar behind me. Little fun fact for you is that all three of my men, except for Haddon, are now wearing the same shirt size. They're all wearing adult medium, so they know their clothing apart better than I do, especially like all the boys' t-shirts. Sometimes I don't remember whose is whose, but it gets a little tricky now that they're all wearing the same size, so we have to make sure to channel the right shirts to all the right bedrooms. We've really packed a lot of function into this tiny laundry room. We obviously have the stacking washer and dryer, have this laundry folding table. We have 5 sorting bins here under the counter. I have a sink with a little cabinet above and a cabinet below. And then I have that bar for hanging things to dry. I also have pegs on the wall here for hanging things to dry, and a wooden drying rack that stands on the floor, and a wooden drying rack that's mounted here on the wall. So I'm actually able to dry quite a lot in this small space. Another aside is that I have been gradually switching over my own wardrobe, getting away from synthetics and moving towards natural fibers like cotton, organic cotton, linen, wool. And I'm curious to know if you want to hear more about that. It made me think of it because these are my workout pants that are synthetic, and they smell terrible. Synthetic, I won't go into all the details, and maybe you already know this, but there's something about synthetic fibers like polyesters that like hangs on to odor, and they also can often be less breathable, and they're not good for your body to be against your skin. So I just ordered a pair of organic cotton leggings for working out. I have organic cotton leggings that I wear around the house, but not for working out. And then I also have ordered a pair of wool leggings for working out, and I'm really curious to experiment with those. So let me know in a comment below if you'd like to hear more about my journey away from synthetic fibers towards more natural fibers. This wraps up part 2 of our Day in the Life series. Be sure to look for videos 3, 4, and 5 in this Day in the Life series, and be sure to like this video, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe for more homesteading content here on YouTube.